Hey YouTube, it's Anthony Castillo with you guys. So, here we are. Oh man, if only I could tell you a little bit about some dynamics that are currently evolving. So, by starting off a little bit with this particular freedom of expression, I'm going to kind of navigate this talk with recognizing that we are stuck, okay? There is a internal system, okay? This like hypnotic internal system that is getting stuck. With spirituality within its context, it's very important to understand that spirituality is not rigid. It's not meant to be rigid. And the reason I compound that constantly is because what's happening is that the brain is getting stuck on a pattern that we can't get out of, right? If you recognize that the NLP, that little challenge that I did, the NLP, I've been actually expanding a little bit more on that, like getting a little creative with it. I've been recently I actually got on a swing and started doing a word search. That's like another level of like cognitive gymnastics, I'd say. Primarily because our cognitive development, for instance, if you know anything about cognitive theories, there are various studies and literature that we can review and also look at and analyze to its like understanding about cognition and what's happening with the cognitive development. And one of my favorite, I would say one of my favorite theories specifically, and if I'm going to really be more direct and honest about it, it's cognitive dissonance theory. More or less CDT, we can call it, CDT. Well, the reason I say that is because a lot of us are holding belief systems that are very cognitively discomforting, causing a lot of discomfort, and also causing a lot of I would say possible limitations within ourselves, because we're not allowing ourselves to stretch beyond what we can accomplish, right? And so within this talk, we're going to get to those points where like we're stuck. I recognize it. We're stuck. My brother recently just had a wedding, and it was such a beautiful vision that came to manifestation. It was such a beautiful realization that I was like, you know what? Wow. All things are possible, Like my brother was able to get married before me. And I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to be honest with you. But yeah, let's go ahead and just look at this talk with understanding how to get unstuck. We need to get unstuck. And I can use many metaphors, I can use poetic gestures, and I can use a lot of other types of, therapeutic techniques. But ultimately, we need to be more honest deeply within ourselves to get unstuck. What is our body telling us? What is our thoughts telling us? And if it's a symptomatic situation, like really dig deep inside, like be like, you know what, I can rise above these symptoms, I can rise above the stuckness, because it's intense. I'm not gonna lie, it can be intense when symptoms of various aspects that are not ours, that completely not ours. Just think about a leaf. I could use a metaphor of a leaf again. Leaves, they're not stuck, they come and go, they change over time. They can get stuck in one spot, but they're eventually going to fall. Let our belief system, some of the belief systems that we don't understand anymore, is like we need to learn how to let it go. My other talk was let it go. Let all that stuff just go, And sometimes it takes some level of intensity to find new ways to get unstuck. So I'm out here, guys, just enjoying, the view, just, finding different ways to really get into spiritual integration and learning to channel all these different levels of awarenesses and new approaches, because we're, new research is coming out and we need to either get involved or get stuck. And if we get stuck, we're stuck. So, all right, guys. Well, hopefully you guys can enjoy this channel, and just, I'll be coming out with more videos like this. And remember to subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. All right, see ya.